The MBTI, or Myers-Briggs Type Indicator. It's a personality test that asks you a lot of questions and determine what your personality is. It then gives you a personality that is named by 4 letters, each one representing a different trait. My personality type was determined to be ENTP, or extroversion, intuition, thinking, perceiving. I would agree with the personality type on the whole. For example, I do prefer to be around people. I like to be outside and thinking and talking with my friends, but I'm only comfortable adding a lot to a conversation if I know everyone in the group very well. Intuition, the MBTI, was also correct. I always try to think about 5 steps ahead in any situation, and I love trying to find the meaning behind things, which is my preference, but because of that I usually make mistakes concerning details. Next is thinking. Again, the MBTI nailed it. Although it does make me appear heartless, I'm not. I just prefer to make decisions based on a lot of logic, and I prefer things make sense logically. Finally is perceiving, which I agree partially with the MBTI. I do like to have a lot of freedom and have multiple options open at any given time, but when I really have something important to do, I have to make a well thought out, thorough plan to help me guide myself through it. Okay, the second part is discussing how I learn best. Unfortunately, it will be hard for me to discuss how I learn because it's so easy. Now that sounds really cocky, but I have a near photographic memory, which is actually a curse. It sucks. With that said, I do prefer a very scatterbrained style of learning. If I'm writing, for example, I often have other assignments open to work on so my brain can just hop around between subjects like writing and, say, sociology or something. It may sound stupid, but it keeps me more productive overall because my mind's always racing, and that's just one way I've found to help me catch it. I also have to work in the big picture, literally. For example, when I do math, I do it on whiteboards so I can see the whole process at once and actually take a step back and look at it and analyze it for any mistakes or methods that I could use to solve it. Also, while I study, I have a lot of very intense music playing loudly. On tests, I generally follow the same rules, minus the music. I work on the problems in a totally random order if I can't remember the answers off the top of my head. It's just how my brain processes information. Finally, I have to talk about how I work with others on teams. Generally, I've been told that I'm a good leader, although I can be cold in my methods. The example I chose was my lacrosse team, on which I was the captain. I ran the offense. I sometimes called in plays, but I led the team along with the coaches in practice always. Although I was always having fun because I love playing lacrosse, I was there to win. So that meant putting in the work when it was required. I would lead the team workouts. I was always the first one through a drill. I would even discipline younger players. One time in particular, I caught one of my players talking smack about one of our new assistant coaches. A team cannot function without respect for their coaches, so I made him run laps. I suppose I led through example, which would be the intuition of my personality. It made the rest of the team comfortable with their skill sets and with asking for assistance when they needed it, all so that the team would improve overall.